Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Wednesday, July 11th, 2018. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES, which you'll notice right here. Again, price holding right at the 27.91.75 level. That's the FOMC key level. Yesterday, forming a pretty tight digestion day, 11.5 points for the most part. And then eventually here breaking down in overnight trading, getting as low as 27.65 and now holding. So this is not the easiest part of the chart here for the ES. You can see here we're right at the top of this larger trading range. We've had higher lows that have come into this thing for quite a while. We have resistance coming across the highs like that. This type of ascending pattern usually breaks to the upside. The question is, are we ready to break now, or will we continue to see further trading range activity and energy building phase before we see that expansion? But we're getting close. We're getting very, very close. The markets look like they've pulled back from resistance, but again, after a strong move up, pullbacks may be defended by bulls for a shot higher. Again, above 2800 has about 100 handles of upside very easily, with a shot at seeing many, many months to the upside, given the 5 or 6 sideways that we've seen. So not the easiest part of the chart that we're in right now. Clearly seeing a little bit of weakness again. Failure to really establish above 27.95, 2800 could open up a return back to 2700. So we'll keep an eye on ES. The NQ here, same pattern for the most part. This thing is rallied. We're at highs. We're retesting the FOMC key level. We've backed off a little bit from yesterday's session here. The trend remains to the upside on a longer term basis, but we have kind of a range that's developing at these highs, right? Like 7,400 here down to about 7K. You got a pretty good little trading range there. So again, if there's any rejection up here, any failure to get a push through 7,350 or so, then we could be rotating right back down to 7K. And then we could stay in this range as it continues to build out for perhaps another upside move. But this thing has been very bullish. You got to watch for clear signs of rejection, and right now the pullbacks have only been about 1-3 days, or 1 to 5 days, something like that. So again, if we do get a pullback, it could be another buying opportunity. Here's a look at crude oil. Crude oil has been developing within a very narrow range on a 5-day basis, on a 10-day basis, and even on a 1-day basis. Everything is compressed. This is a 1-day basis here, and it's compressed over the last several days. If you look at the weekly chart, it's an inside week, even though we haven't finished the week. Obviously, we still have 3 more days to go in the week, but it's inside right now. It's very tightly coiled. And again, these types of patterns are storing energy for major expansion. However, it can be difficult to trade the initial breakout because it's so narrow. It could break down first and break up, and it could just continue to trade. So continue to watch this one. Eventually, we could see significant expansion, and if it's to the upside, we may have 78, 80 ahead. So again, very important here which way we break. A downside push to 72s opens up a little bit more weakness back toward about 69. All right, let's take a look now at the YM. The YM here has bounced off of the 24K level back to 24,886. That's been a very important pivot. It's the midpoint between the impulse high and low. Very clear trading range action. Again, the ES is somewhere about here. The NQ is somewhere about here. And the YM is here. So, I mean, this thing is quite lower than the rest. It's lagging a little bit here. We are building up a little bit of a range that could again see major expansion, but for right now we're right in the center of the range. The flow is to the upside. We could see a little bit more strength here toward the FOMC key level at about 25,327, unless price cannot reestablish above 24,886. That's the key pivot to watch right now. Continue to watch that level. Let's take a look now at Bitcoin. We've been talking about Bitcoin and how it's been holding near this lower edge. There's really no juice here. That this one, it just hasn't had the energy that you'd like to see. But for the most part, it is holding down here. It is not seeing new lows. Here's your 6,700 level that has held firmly the last 2 times. Right now we're holding below it, but not really seeing more weakness. Instead, we're seeing kind of a 3-point reversal down here that could open up the upside. We've had lower highs here, so I wouldn't really overshoot it, but I think 8,500, 8,442 could be a really easy target here should price start to pop back above 7K. And so again, you can see down here, the LVN's in place, 3-point reversal in place, still holding the 6250s. Can we see a move here? If so, it could be about a 2 to 3 week rotation to the upside, but again, need that confirmation above 7K. Quick note here, again, this will be the last pre-market video here until next Wednesday. I will be out of the office until then, but looking forward to seeing you soon. Trade well, and I'll see you soon. Take care, folks.